Hey guys! Welcome to Series World. Today I'm going to explain an erotic thriller series called Dark Desire from 2020. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The second episode continues telling the story of 6 weeks earlier, and it starts with a girl running in the middle of the woods as if she is running from someone. She then stumbles onto something and falls to the ground. The scene then changes to Brenda's housekeeper coming into the house in the morning and looking for Brenda. Instead of getting any response from Brenda as usual, she sees that the house is a mess because of Darío and Alma's activity from the previous night, and still no response from Brenda. She continues searching for Brenda and stumbles upon her dead body floating in the tub full of bloody water. The story then comes back to Alma, who faces Darío as he asks her what he should call her now, and whether it should be Brenda 2 or Professor Solaris. As Alma tries to ignore him, he presses her, saying that since they made love, she should at least know his name. Alma then responds that from now on they have a formal teacher-student relationship and nothing complicated. She also denies their previous intimate encounter. Later, Alma is found trying to drive home, but her car gets a flat tire. She tries to change the tire, but it seems a little hard for her. Darío spots her struggling with this and comes to help her change the tire. He also offers her his spare tire. When Alma hesitates, he tells her that he is sure she needs help. The scene changes to Leonardo scolding his employee for misspelling a name in the evidence file, suspecting that he took a bribe from the accused to do this. Seeing Leonardo getting agitated over this, Edith tries to calm him by giving him a massage and guiding him to breathe. The scene then cuts to Esteban and Zoe inspecting a dead girl's body in the morgue. Esteban encourages Zoe to examine the body closely to find more evidence related to the murder, and reminds her that they don't have much time. She suspects the girl died of strangulation, but Esteban pushes her to look more closely by touching and to keep investigating the body. Later, the story finds Darío, who is done changing the tires. He then inquires about Alma and why she lied previously. Alma replies that she didn't know she would meet him again and suggests he forget it, as she is now his teacher. Darío rejects this and says he can't forget it because it is that memorable to him. He also adds that they have one thing in common, which is that they are both lawyers. He tries to further pursue her, but Alma cuts him off and says that she is married. Darío replies that he suspected that she was married and he doesn't care. He also tells her that their time spent together was wonderful, and he can't forget something like that. He then gives his card to Alma in case she changes her mind about him or the spare tire. The scene then cuts to the murder scene of Brenda as her body is being taken away in a body bag. As the police are investigating, they find the drug clonazepam, which they suspect she mixed with her drinks for courage. The lead investigating officer tells his assistant that he is very confident this is a suicide case. He also asks her if they have found the suicide note. The lady assistant officer replies negatively. He then asks if they have located Brenda's ex-husband. The lady officer tells him they are trying. He then notices a photo of Brenda and tells his assistant that a good friend of his knew Brenda. Alma is seen again at the dinner table, and Zoe is telling her excitedly about what she observed today in the morgue. But Alma seems to be out of it and drowned in her thoughts. Zoe also notices this. Alma then asks again and tells Zoe to change this uncomfortable subject and discuss something nicer. Zoe then tells her that she never listens to her interests and inquires what nice things are to her. Alma tells her to stop being sarcastic and says that she would like to hear about Zoe's friends or the person she likes. Zoe doesn't reply to this and says that she has to pick up Karina before going to school. She also adds that Karina and Zoe will have sleepovers and study sessions today if it is okay with Alma. Alma nods, and Zoe gets ready to leave and bid her mom goodbye, but notices a hickey-like mark on Alma's neck and asks about it. Alma corrects her, saying that it is grease from getting a flat tire. The scene cuts to the investigation site again. Officers are seen inspecting the wine bottle from Brenda's house in which they have found 4 different fingerprints. The lead inspector then asks if they have found any sign of violence. In reply, the lady officer shows him an evidence bag full of condoms, asking if it can be considered a sign. The officer denies this and says that the victim just had one last night of passion. The scene changes to Leonardo and Esteban discussing Leonardo's employee Ortega misspelling the last name of the accused, which made catching the criminal harder as his witness is also disqualified because he was drunk. Leonardo is afraid that the rapist will go free even though 2 of the victims identified him. Leonardo and Esteban are then seen picking an expensive necklace from Roxana so that Leonardo can gift it to Edith. The story then shifts to Alma getting ready to take a shower. She turns on the shower and starts reliving the steamy moments she spent with Darío. Meanwhile, Darío is seen inspecting a family picture of Alma deeply when an employee comes and informs him that someone named Mrs. Torres is looking for him. Alma comes back from the shower and tries to call Brenda but can't reach her, so she leaves a voicemail wanting to tell her about what happened with Darío. The scene unfolds to Zoe floating in the pool as Karina sits beside the pool and counts how long Zoe can hold her breath underwater. Karina suggests that they should go inside the house, but Zoe drags her into the pool and they keep having fun with each other inside the pool. The backdrop changes to Alma talking to her therapist about her marital life and her cheating husband. She further states that even though they are married, they have separate lives and her husband cares about his job and assistant more than her. Alma also tells her how being cheated on made her angry and sad and hurt her dignity. So she wanted a break from being a professor, wife or mother, and to explore her desires as a woman with young Darío. She states the worst part is she doesn't feel guilty about this and wants more. The action continues with Esteban and Roxana making out with each other in front of a pool table. While they are in the act, Esteban receives a call from the lead investigating officer of Brenda's murder. He picks up the call and gets informed about Brenda's death. After hearing this, Esteban gets a flashback which continues from after what's shown in the first scene of this episode. Now it is revealed that the girl running in the woods was Brenda, who was running away from Esteban but fell, and Esteban caught her. After that, both of them lie down in the grassy woods and start making love to each other. The story again comes back to Alma and her therapist, where her therapist is suggesting she consider doing what most men do in this kind of situation, which is to have a secret relationship. But Alma rejects this idea and instead states that she has to talk with her husband, no matter where the conversation turns. Alma then goes to her husband's office to talk with him. While searching for her husband, she enters his office and catches him red-handed, putting that expensive necklace on his assistant's neck. Leonardo tries to explain himself, saying that it is not what Alma thinks it is. Alma tells him that he should have come out with a more original response. Leonardo then tells her that they should have this conversation in their home, not here. Alma tells him that he is shameless and leaves. On her way out, she is seen crying and tries to call Brenda, but Brenda isn't responding and it again goes to voicemail. Seeing this, Alma becomes worried about Brenda as she still doesn't know about her murder. In the next scene, Alma has a flashback where she shares an intimate moment with her husband, Leonardo. She tells Leonardo about their family picture and points out that if someone from outside sees it, they will think that they are an unhappy family. But Leonardo assures her that it doesn't matter as they know the truth about their family and how happy they are. After the flashback ends, Alma is seen in her car outside Dario's office, looking at him without his knowledge. After some time, Darío notices that Alma is outside and comes out in the rain to meet her. But just as Alma sees Darío noticing her and coming out, she drives off without giving him any chance. Meanwhile, the story shifts back to Zoe and Karina as they study in Zoe's room. Karina tries to teach her biology, but Zoe seems out of it. Karina notices this and asks Zoe, snapping her out of it. Instead of replying to Karina's biology questions, she asks her about how she discovered she was gay. Karina replies that the first girl she liked was when she was in kindergarten. She also adds that the girl looked like a Japanese manga character and she liked everything about her. Zoe then asks Karina how she felt when she looked at that girl. Karina remains silent for a moment, then asks Zoe if she wants to clear any doubts, and they start kissing each other. After a moment in the kiss, Zoe slightly pushes her away. The scene now changes back to Alma, who comes home after driving in the rain. She gets completely drenched in the rain while entering home. After she enters the house, she sees Esteban and Leonardo waiting for her with a worried expression. Seeing this, Alma asks them what happened, and Esteban breaks the news to her that Brenda has committed suicide. After hearing this, Alma couldn't control herself and breaks down crying on the sofa. She blames herself for not seeing it coming. The episode ends with Alma being broken-hearted over Brenda's death. To watch more explanations of these kinds of series, click on the videos on your screen. And don't forget to let me know how you feel about today's video in the comments down below. And at last, thanks for watching.